I'm Donna.
And I'm Bruce, and this is Lyrical Wisdom.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Lyrical Wisdom, where we dive into song lyrics and offer heart-based wisdom through our interpretations. If you enjoy what you're hearing, don't forget you can catch every episode of Lyrical Wisdom on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more.
You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Lyrical Wisdom Show. Do you have a song you'd like to hear us shed some light on? You can email us requests, questions, comments to lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on a YouTube video. We'd really love to hear from you. And all requests get an episode and a shout out.
So join us every Tuesday and Friday as we dig deep and deliver our wisdom. And thank you for sharing, liking, and subscribing to Lyrical Wisdom.
Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Donna.
How are you this one fine day?
Hey, I am having another day in paradise. And that is refreshing to say now, especially. So thank you very much for asking. Thank you so much. It's so good to be here.
It is. It really, truly is. And I, too, am having a beautiful, wonderful day in paradise, let me tell you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I've noticed that these days it is so nice to be outside and in this world and to be able to experience things in this new weather. Because
I was going to say, even the heat, I mean, as hot as it is, it's still, there's so much beauty around. It really, truly is.
There is. I do like the change, though. I like the fact that it has cooled off. So if anybody out there is listening, they're like trying to put together, when do they do this? But this is some beautiful weather we got going on out there. And I am just, I'm pulling out all the cliches, I guess. I'm pleased as punch. So,
yay.
But another day in paradise.
Yes, it certainly is. And I am really excited to be here with you, Bruce, and everyone else that is here listening today on this particular episode of Lyrical Wisdom, because we have something very special this week for you all.
Yes.
We are honoring the late Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, it's beautiful to be able to shine light and share wisdom from his lyrics in some of his songs. It's a beautiful way to experience his music in a different way.
It is.
Right?
It is.
I mean, we're just looking at the light and the love that came from his light and his love within him as he wrote the lyrics.
Yes.
So, I'm really excited. Thank you, all of you, for being here now with us, especially this week on Lyrical Wisdom. As you're listening today, remember, there'll be one more episode, so tune in to the next episode of Lyrical Wisdom for another tribute to Ozzy Osbourne.
Yay, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. It is so nice to be able to do this. And not that we enjoy the fact that Ozzy Osbourne has transitioned. That isn't the part that we're celebrating necessarily, but it is, in a way. It is just celebrating a life, a love, and the light that, we believe when we read these lyrics. I can't wait to dig into this. It really sheds a lot of light on that. It's surprising because, do you remember listening to Ozzy Osbourne, Donna?
I don't, because I grew up a country girl, so I basically only listened to country music.
Yeah.
I really started discovering music probably about 15, 20 years ago, which is
Yeah.
fascinating. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, the Beatles, really?
Yeah.
And I'm loving it now. I'm loving really, really understanding music in a different way,
Yeah.
especially this way in finding the lyrics first and then playing the song. For me, it's like, wow, this
I
is
agree.
that song. I mean, some of the songs we've done, Bruce, I didn't realize that I have heard and
Yeah. Yeah.
appreciated them. It's like, oh, I do know this song.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
So,
absolutely the
yeah,
same for
yeah.
me. Yeah.
But I
That's
don't
funny.
I don't remember growing up and being what I would label as an Aussie fan. But I do know that there are lots and lots of people out there who are true fans of Ozzy and his work. So I myself am very honored to be able to speak into the wisdom that I am finding in his lyrics.
I am I am the same. I feel exactly the same way. And I had a little bit more experience with Ozzy Osbourne than I guess than I thought I did before the current events. And so I do feel like I've listened to some of his music, but mostly I would say, as we could say, the popular things. There are a lot of songs that I think that um, a few of us have not listened to, and I don't know who those few are or how many there are. I would just say that, there are some songs that he has that are amazing, and they just weren't the most popular ones that came out on the radio or onto MTV or whatever it might have been,
Yeah.
and
You
so
have to
because
buy the album to,
you do. You got to really kind of look for it, and it also it comes back from this is coming from a time too when all the lyrics were packaged within a performance art because most people had to be seen in person in order to be experienced in the way that we are now familiar with Ozzy Osbourne. He's done so much work with reality TV and he's done all these different things, but it's through this age of internet, television, movies, and the
Mhm.
different sources of media. And so, interestingly, it's a part of his kind of legacy to become this icon of entertainment from a time when it all started with a stage and a microphone.
That's true. That's true. And I do know that Ozzy was a big stage performer.
Yes.
So, yeah, I do know that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
So I guess,
fascinating.
yeah, yeah. So I guess without further ado, we should probably do our song, shouldn't we? I
Okay.
could sit here and talk about
I
him
hope
all
you guys
day.
are ready. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited for this.
me too. And
And perfect song.
it is perfect. It is such a beautiful title. This is not a song that I am personally familiar with, although just like you said, I may find out that I've heard this before. Although I kind of have a feeling that I haven't necessarily listened to this, so I'm really going to enjoy this. This is Mama, I'm Coming Home by Ozzy Osbourne. Times have changed, and times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home. Times go by, seems to be. You could have been a better friend to me. Mama, I'm coming home. You took me in and you drove me out. Yeah, you had me hypnotized. Yeah, lost and found and turned around by the fire in your eyes. You made me cry. You told me lies, but I can't stand to say goodbye. Mama, I'm coming home. I could be right. I could be wrong. It hurts so bad. It's been so long. Mama, I'm coming home. Selfish love. Yeah, we are both alone. The ride before the fall. Yeah, but I'm going to take this heart of stone. I just got to have it all. I've seen your face 100 times. Every day we have been apart. And I don't care about the sunshine, yeah, 'cause mama, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. You took me in and you drove me out. Yeah, you had me hypnotized, lost and found, and turned around by the fire in your eyes. I've seen your face 1,000 times. Every day we have been apart. And I don't care about the sunshine, 'cause mama, I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
Hmm. Where do
Wow.
we start?
I'm, yeah, well, in the entire song, the repeat of the lyrics to me reminds me of things that we've talked about in the past, where it is something that we feel like is a recurring theme, if you will. Or I think in this case, I'm just going to say that we could start with the fact that Ozzy Osbourne repeats the phrase, I'm coming home. And
Yeah,
he also says, Mama, I'm coming home. And
yeah,
I feel like that is obviously, if you will, significant, you know, but I also feel like it is the universal way of saying it. Like it has like this adaptive way of working with whichever with excuse me, whichever part of the lyrics it's attached to, and in that
yeah.
beautiful way that it can be utilized. It's not something that is it doesn't need to be changed. The words don't need to be changed to something completely else so that that example or that thing that he's saying is going to make sense. It just, that phrase, mama, I'm coming home, it fits at the end of each portion of it, which is really beautiful.
Right. Because, I mean, for me, you can take it in its literal sense.
Yeah.
In other words, like the prodigal son, it's like mama, the entity that birthed me on this planet,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
I've been away, I've done, lived my life or whatever, and now I want to come home and feel that unconditional love,
Yeah.
that acceptance of no matter what, and that support and the arms, just hugging you when you walk in the door and you see your mama.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, the literal sense of it is so beautiful that you can feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In your
Yeah.
heart, you can feel that love.
Yeah.
I also, the whole time you were reading it, have been just in awe of the wholeness, the expansion of those words. Because where is home?
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people say home is where the heart
Yeah.
is. And so he's coming home back to his heart, back to his soul. And for me, mama is Panchamama.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of people have heard of that. It's Gaia, it's earth. And when in that essence of knowing, that Ozzy has crossed over is so beautiful because that's what he did. He came back to the earth. He surrendered his physical body and went home into earth again.
Yeah.
Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
I
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I couldn't
So
agree with you more. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the beauty of really looking at the word home, I'm coming home, meaning whatever that place is within you that
Mhm.
is heaven, that is
Absolutely.
love, because that's what you're doing. You're just going back to where you came from,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. It's like it's the return,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
it's the return.
love it. So
That I do too.
times have changed and times are strange. I agree with that 100%.
Yes.
Here I come, but I ain't the same. And that's the beauty of what I'm talking about is
Yeah.
the realization that you've grown, that
Yeah.
you've changed, that, you're not the same that you were. Nobody's the same as when they were birthed by their mama. You know what I mean?
The minute you
And
come out, you're starting to change as you
that's
go.
true.
It's an immediate
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even spiritually, the moment we arrived here on this earth, we have changed, not only physically, but spiritually.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like, wow, yeah, I've changed.
Yeah.
Everybody's changed. And you know what? The beauty about it is, Mama, I'm coming home. Meaning it
Yes.
doesn't matter how much you change, how much things have gotten strange, you can always come home.
Yes.
There will always be a home for you within you
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and within the earth, within the
Yeah.
love that created you.
That's
It's like,
funny. Yeah.
wow,
That's funny.
fascinating.
I find that to be that's an interesting theme because I've heard that not only in this song, but there's other songs that I've heard that kind of reference to, where instead of it just being home as being where it's not necessarily where the heart is, but it's just wherever you happen to be. And of course that can
Mm.
be where your heart is, but
Well, yeah, because
yeah,
that's where you are.
exactly. Yeah.
Wherever your
Yeah.
heart is where you are.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
um
yeah.
I love that because that's a lot of what this is saying. It's like, Mama, I'm coming home. And it's also that little bit of that reflection with times go by, time
Hmm.
seems to be, you could have been a better friend to me. Mama, I'm coming home. There's a little bit of like a look back, a reflection, and I don't even necessarily think that the statement of you could have been a better friend to me in this case is a statement of mama or Pachamama or whoever it is that I love that reference because I actually thought of that immediately was Mama, I'm coming home, Mama, Mother Earth, um
Hmm.
but just the open arms of the heart and of the womb, if you will, to being a protective and return place. It isn't necessarily what this statement of you could have been a better friend to me, because in some cases I think that there's a lot of ways that we can look back on certain things and see, well, like there's certain things in my life that I kind of stumbled through, whatever it is. But I think that's the reflective part, and I think that that's where he makes a quick reflection and then keeps moving on, because
Yeah.
then he goes to, you took me in and you drove me out, yeah, you had me hypnotized, lost and found and turned around by the fire in your eyes. And I like that because I'm going to guess, I don't know if we need to necessarily find out exactly who wrote Ozzy Osbourne's songs. Maybe we should, but I'm going to say that he wrote that very poetically, but that's because the idea of what he wanted to say was in his head, and this is how the words form together in that beautiful way to bring that all together. And that's why I like that. It's like the reflective part is, times go by, seems to be, you could have been a better friend to me, Mama, I'm coming home quick, boom, okay, we have those reflections, and we all do. And that's why I love this song. It appeals to our hearts and our souls. It makes us think about who we are. That's why I was just thinking about that when you were saying that, Donna. So because then I think it sorry to interrupt, but just then I feel like it then kind of goes into where it goes to his, I think his true intention of writing the song, or whoever wrote it, that they wanted to have a little more. It was deeper.
I agree.
you
Yeah.
know it was deeper
Yeah.
from the get-go. That was the intent of the song, is this is a deeper song. um
Yeah. Ozzy
so
did write it with Zach Wild.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah. Thank
Gotta
you,
say thank
our
you.
guru, Allison, our tech guru here. Yeah. You know what I love about this, Bruce, is it's, like I said, it's literal essence of you took me in, you drove me out. In other words, there may have been times, I know there's times in almost everybody's life where, they go back home.
Yes.
Um, right after college or, during college, whatever,
Uh-huh.
and then it's like, nope, you know, it's like you've got your wings, you need to fly now, and you get pushed back out of the nest, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
You drove me out. You had me hypnotized, lost and found and turned around. For me, not only is that with, how people act and what they say and do to make you get confused and turned around and not know where you're going kind of thing, in those type of deep relationships,
Yes.
it's also with yourself
Yeah. Yeah.
and the earth and your divine self.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know me, myself, and I have been, I take myself back and then I kick myself out,
Yeah.
because you find that when you do reflect, like you said, on these things and you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't like who I'm being right now.
Yeah.
And so you kick that part of you out. And then you get hypnotized by, understanding and getting caught in some feelings and everything. You get lost, you get found, and you get turned around.
Yep.
And the beautiful thing about it is the fire in your eyes. A lot of people talk about how eyes, physical eyes, are windows to the soul.
Yeah.
And so when we really truly take time to look at one another
Mm-hmm.
and spend time to be with one another, looking each other in the eye, you do get to see the soul. And fire is that passion, that drive, that initiative to be all that you are, to be the best you can be.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
again, I'm like, the fire in your eyes, I see it as like when it's evening, when it's nighttime and you get up early in the morning and you see the sunrise, it rises just above the horizon.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like the opening of eyes. It's like it's letting the light in, It's the fire is being ignited upon everyone on earth,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, I love it. Love, love, love that. You made me cry. You told me lies. But I can't stand to say goodbye. Mama, I'm coming home.
I love that line too, because I feel like it's a vulnerable moment,
Oh, yeah,
you
very
know,
vulnerable. Yeah.
and it's, in some ways it kind of scratches the surface of that, you know, that love for some things and people and ways that we extend ourselves and commit to. And then in the end, we find out, well, I might have gone down the wrong path there,
Yeah.
kind of followed the wrong, um, snake oil salesman at that one point, and maybe, found out about something else here along the way there, and did things differently now, because, it all, like, sometimes can be equated to those moments. They're learning lessons. And that's why I feel like this is such
Exactly.
a yeah, such a beautiful thing, like, I remember thinking about, listening to you talk about the being, lost and found and turned around, because a little bit of this extends itself into these phrases. He kind of builds. That's what I love about these lyrics, is reading them, I felt like they layer themselves, so they build on each other. And in this case, it made me think of being lost, found, turned around, and then being in this moment where, we have, you made me cry, you told me lies, but I can't stand by, this kind of this indication of, okay, I know, you're not necessarily being that nice to me or honest with me, but I just can't stand to say goodbye. You know, there are some things that, we're so committed to, that we have those feelings for, that it's really hard to kind of let go of. It's the learning lessons, knowing that
Right.
we have to keep moving on, even though, we do know this physical or emotional or some sort of attachment that we're feeling there. And it makes me think of like, in this, you have that element of somebody turning somebody around, helping them find the right way because they were lost and found. So, you have this being turned around. And I thought at that, and I thought, and that kind of reminds me of like a lot of these moments, because a lot of people, and I would count myself as, this is my experience, like saying that, a lot of times you end up like talking to yourself, but also talking to other people, and finding out how critical it is to have people like your family or friends around when you have to figure out what isn't working. and
Hmm.
and that part of it can be that moment where they sometimes take your shoulders and take you from facing one direction, and they turn you around and they face you another direction, and they allow you to realize that, okay, gently and with love, they're allowing you to help see that, maybe something is not being honest with you, or something isn't, necessarily being the best element for you in that certain way. It doesn't serve you as well. And so I think that reminds me of that, is that there are little subtle reminders of that, because I love the way it says, um, you, I can't stand to say goodbye. Mama, I'm coming home. Well, obviously, mama isn't the goodbye.
I was
And
gonna say, yeah, that was so
it's,
cool when you said they take your shoulders and they turn you around
yeah,
to face the other direction. And
yeah,
I'm like, well, yeah, because there's always two sides to every coin,
yes,
and
yeah,
sometimes we get stuck just seeing the one side and
yes,
don't, and it's the same thing that I hear a lot about: put yourself in someone else's shoes. In other words, look where they're coming from.
yeah,
And mom, but I can't stand to say goodbye. To me, that was so, I see, or I define the word goodbye as final.
mm,
It's a finalization. That's it. Goodbye. You know, done, finished, never again kind of thing.
yeah,
And it is
yeah,
death to me in
yeah,
this song. We can look at it that way, saying goodbye to this physical life.
yes,
Mama,
yeah,
I'm coming home, meaning I know that I'm leaving my physicality
yeah,
and I'm returning to you, Mama, the love, the intelligent love that I came from, the,
yeah,
you know, the creator, the creatrix that, allowed us to animate this human body.
absolutely,
I
yeah.
love that. I could be right. I could be wrong. It hurts so bad. It's been so long. Mama, I'm coming home. Once again, to me, that is that it hurts so bad. It's been so long. The
Yeah,
biggest wound that I am aware of as a human being on this earth is that of separation, that of feeling like we're separated from our divinity, our
yeah,
aspect that created us, which is our mother, our father,
yeah,
you know, the all that is.
yeah,
And for me, that's the wound, that hurts so bad part. And it's been so long.
yeah,
I've lived my life this long and I have, wow. But guess what? I'm coming home. I'm
yeah,
realizing that I am divine. I'm
yeah,
reconnecting with that aspect of myself, that divine self, that love that created me and created everything on this world.
yeah.
Mama.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what I love about that phrase is that there's
Oh,
always that mama, I'm coming home, you know. It's always that kind of not resignation because that's not what it is. It's the acknowledgement of something that's going to be better. You know, it's
yeah.
somewhere that it's and I love like the thing that we were saying earlier, and I kind of alluded to this before because I just realized I guess it really does feel like it does kind of capture the moment of coming back into like a womb like kind of cradle. You know, it's like
Hmm.
it's a return to that kind of sense. But you know, like I love the thing that you just mentioned too, in the sense that we could be passing on, we could be transitioning.
Hmm.
You know, that's the coming home that a lot of people refer to when they say I'm going home. That is a phrase that is out there. So I love that because it is that. It's all of those good things about that that is so familiar to us all, you know.
Right, right.
But
And he
and
still alludes to the fact that life is a mystery, even to all of us. I could be right. I could be wrong. Another time,
yeah, it's
but I have made a choice. I've made a decision to come home.
yeah.
Selfish love. Yeah, we're both alone. The ride before the fall. Yeah. But I'm going to take this heart of stone. I just got to have it all.
That is a really cool portion of the song. It's hard to really, I think, touch on this because I don't know how many people experience this kind of a feeling in them is that sometimes in order to be true to yourself, you have to feel like you have a heart of stone because you're going to feel very cold in how you deal with certain people because they're going to look like you know, somebody's going to feel like you're doing something that isn't for them. Then you have to do things for yourself. And so this like I can't believe like this selfish when I read it too, that selfish love, yeah, we're both alone. That's the part that I feel like it's two statements in the middle of one. Selfish love, yes. And then we are both alone, the other. Because to me, that is how he's in some ways he could be saying those two things because that's kind of a if you I don't know, you could look at that phrase or that sentence in that way, you know, selfish love, well yeah, I love myself, that means I am alone. And so I feel like then the ride before the fall, yeah, but I'm going to take this heart of stone, mama, oh, I just got to have it all, excuse me. And I think that that's why it's like I have to accept this, I have to acknowledge this, I'm going to take this, you know, and I'm going to ride this out. um and it's not going to be easy, but I got to have it all. I got to go for it, you
And
know.
that's the beautiful thing about it is that's life. It's
Yes.
realizing that you are human.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've got, aspects that can be hard as stone to some people, or
Yeah.
stone
Yeah.
cold, whatever the phrase is, the shadow part of yourself. And
Yeah.
to be able to accept that and
Yeah.
say, you know what? I got to have it all. I
Yep.
want to experience this light in its fullness, everything that is.
Yeah.
Selfish love. Yeah, we're both alone. We
Yep.
both, in other words, my truth is that we all are on an individual journey.
Yes.
And yes, we are never alone because we're part of one, where
Yeah.
we are the all. And it's in that realization that the selfish love begins to, in my opinion, blossom because
Yeah.
then you realize that I can be me. I'm here to be me. I'm
Right.
here
Yeah.
to be human and all of
Yeah.
my feelings and all of my, you know, stoneness, the
Yes.
heart of
Yes.
stone.
Yes.
I gotta have it all.
Yeah.
And to me, there is a bit of excitement there,
Yeah. I couldn't
almost
agree with
an
you more.
acknowledgement of, hey, you do your thing, I do my thing.
Yes.
And we're still one. We're still, going to the same place.
Yeah.
I've
And
seen your, because I've seen your face.
Yeah.
100 times.
Yes.
Every day we've been apart. So not just 100 times. For me, I take that as I see your face 100 times every day we've been
Yes.
apart.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of times to see your face. And
Well,
I don't
and
care about the sunshine.
yeah.
Yeah, because Mama, I'm coming home.
Yeah. It's
I'm
well, and
coming home.
we kind of overlook that part of it too, of the fact that, you know, it's an easy phrase to say that we should appreciate every breath, every blink of
Mm-hmm.
the eye. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's an easy phrase to say, but to actually do it. And that is something that is so hard, because how do you just, like, you have to really still yourself. And that is a beautiful thing. But then we also forget, in all of those moments of that every single breath, is those moments of that every single look, of that every single memory, of that every single moment. How many times do you pass somebody just in the house, you know, transferring from one room to the next because the bathroom can't be in the bedroom at the same time? So
Yeah.
if you're with somebody and you are spending time with them, then you're going to pass them, and things are going to happen. There's going to be interactions. And it's so easy to forget those passings. And that's why I love that phrase too, because if you took the time lapse camera and kind of watched it, that would be like what we see at the end of our life, in some people's way of saying, that movie of themselves that they watch from beginning to end. That's what that reminds me of, is that, the 100 times, it seems to me like, that's kind of that kind of example, a little bit of that example in there.
Not only that, Bruce, but another way I'm seeing those lyrics is I've seen your face 100 times every day we've been apart. In other words, that face can also be their own face that they're seeing in everybody else, or
Oh
the
yeah.
mama's face, which to me is God, source, all creator. And I see creator in every face I see every moment we've been apart.
Yeah.
In other words, even while I'm human, I'm seeing you in everybody else, everything else.
That's amazing.
And
I like that.
I don't care about the sunshine.
Yeah.
In other
Yes.
words,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
for me, that is everything good, the
Yeah.
sunshine. In other words, when people talk about sunshine, they're talking about happiness,
Yes.
things that
Yes.
that make them smile, that make them happy. So it's like I don't care about that anymore because I've got it. I'm not searching for it. I don't, need it. It's in every face I see all around me because I'm coming home.
That's beautiful. That's like, when you really know you're in, like, for some people, when they know that they're really in love with something,
Hmm.
they see it in everything they do. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a beautiful way of looking at it. I
I'm
love that.
coming home,
Yeah.
Mama. I'm coming home. Love that. And then once again, you took me in and drove me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had me hypnotized, lost and found, and turned around by the fire in your eyes, which, is just beautiful, beautiful lyrics.
It is.
That's what life does. And
It does.
to me, that's what he's speaking about is life,
He is. It's that life
and
of,
earth. I mean, yeah,
yes.
I mean, it's crazy with what Earth Mama does. I mean,
Yeah.
she can make it hot, hot, hot one day and then, cold the next.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Stormy one day and sunshiny the next. So
Yeah. Well,
it's, yeah.
and I love the way that, because I know that it is the second time that he has mentioned the fire in your eyes, because I believe he ended that first, there was the first time that he uses these lyrics in the song. And I'm grateful for that, because it's a reminder of the fact that, this is like a, hypnotized and, lost and found, turned around, hypnotized, all of these kind of phrases, or these words, excuse me, to describe being enamored,
Mm.
this kind of feeling of being enamored by something that was fun, exciting, and magical,
Yeah.
you know, because,
Yeah.
think about that. If you take the look in, I just went there where I'm looking at, this image of a child's eyes being hypnotized by a magician doing some sort of fireworky kind of magical thing. And I think that, in a lot of ways, you just said it the best, where you're like, that's life, because that is life. That is life.
Mm-hmm.
And, some people's magical thing is being in a car accident. Some people's magical thing is maybe getting a headache, or, waking up and going to work, or having their lunch break. It's just, it's kind of like that is, I like the idea of that being the magical thing too, because that's what life
Oh,
is.
yeah.
It's
Yes.
the, from the things that are like that child looking at, who we could maybe think of as Dumbledore, or, Harry Potter for that matter, or, Gandalf, like spinning up
Yeah.
some fireballs in the sky and juggling them, or just simply somebody opening the door for you when you're walking through. It's that same kind of like feel to me, that fire in the eyes. And it's like, it's easy to be enamored by some of those moments. And I know, like, how many people have been enamored by those things in their life. We're all like caught up by the shiny object. All of us get to be the minor bird.
Yeah.
But yes, I've seen your face 1,000 times every day we've been apart. And I don't care about the sunshine, because, Mama, I'm coming home. Mama,
I'm coming home.
yes, I'm coming home. Wow, what a beautiful song.
Yeah, it truly, truly is. And such a beautiful moment. And I am so grateful, Bruce, to be able to do this with you
Yes,
and, discuss these lyrics for all of you out there. We really, truly appreciate you for
yes,
being here with us and listening and partaking in this light, in this wisdom that we share in lyrics for you, because that's why
yes,
we do it.
yes. That is
For
what an
all of
amazing,
you. Yeah.
song. So
Yeah.
awesome. Wow, thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Bruce, and thank you all for being here with us